Okay, Mike's up first. He says, hi, beautiful people. Thanks for the answers. When building a website for local service company, can I have duplicate content on both Money Site and Google GMB site? What about using the same photos and videos? Can you please share some tips about the relationship between the Money Site and Google site? Thanks. I don't do anything different, Mike. Honestly, all I do is copy content directly from my Money Site or, the Money Site to the GMB, just so that, I haven't had any issues with it. Usually it depends on how the Money Site is set up. Sometimes the home pages don't really have much content. It depends on the type of site. But what I'll do is I'll grab, for example, let's say it's a site that's got service, we're talking about GMB, so it's likely going to be local. Let's say it has service categories. Well, what it will do is I'll go in and grab the main top level silo pages, right? So the service pages that were, or the service landing pages essentially, and just grab a section of content off of each and then create sections within the GMB website. So it's almost like you can't add H tags and stuff, but you can bold things. So I'll just flesh out the content, which is just copy and paste from content from the Money Site, but add, bolded sections. So it'll with, keyword optimized heading sections for each one of those, even though again, you can't specify H tags, but you can bold them, so that it's a very clear, delineation between the different sections on the site. And then also remember, you can link back, you can create textual and contextual links within the GMB website back to those corresponding pages on the Money Site, which is what I recommend that you do. So that's what I do. And I don't usually develop any new content. There might be a little bit of some, new content at the very top or at the very bottom where the call to action might be slightly different. But other than that, it's just primarily copied and pasted. Anybody else have any differing opinion on that?
No, not a differing opinion, just to expand a little bit on it, because the question is really simple. Can I have duplicate content on both the Money Site and the Google GMB site? No, you can't, because there's no such thing as duplicate content. There's only original content and copies thereof. If there were a problem with content being copied over and over again, then our syndication academy would be useless. Press releases would be useless, and most of what we do would be useless. They do say it doesn't work though, right? They do say our stuff doesn't work, even though people are making tons of money with it. However, no such thing. So yes, by all means, you can take your content from your website. As a matter of fact, ShreePad's tool, the GMB auto poster, does a really good job of taking your RSS feed and pushing it into your GMB, and then taking an RSS out of your GMB and republishing the content. It's just reusing your content, as long as you have proper attribution, which simply means giving credit to the author, or if you can, canonicalizing your content so that it points to the original copy of the document. Well, that's what you're supposed to do anyway. If you're writing any type of literary work, any type of paper, any type of thesis, if you're writing a book and you're taking excerpts from other books, other people's ideas, comments, just whatever, you're supposed to give those people credit where credit is due, which I'm always talking about. Give people credit. There's nothing wrong with giving people credit. If you do it properly, there is no such thing as duplicate content. Now, if you want to talk about plagiarism and all this other stuff, that's a whole different story. Yes, you can get into trouble for plagiarizing things and a whole lot of other things. But at this basic level where you're just reproducing your own content, there's absolutely no problem. With photos, I do have a problem, because we've seen time and again that new photos, different photos with lots of data, especially local data, work really well. And if you're using the same photos over and over again, well, they're already in the database. And when the algorithm feeds off data, and if you're giving it the same data, if there's absolutely no difference, we've seen that it makes an absolute difference as far as Google My Business is concerned. The more that you can make it unique, the better that your posts are going to perform. There are also things that you can do with the posts that will make them perform better. Now, I just, as far as tips between the Money Site and your Google site, your Google site is tier 1. It's one of your tier 1 properties, and it'll become one of your strongest tier 1 properties as you start working it in. I don't know if you have local GMB Pro, but you should be working it the local GMB Pro method. Once you develop those methods out, it can become one of your strongest tier 1 properties, and it can drive a lot of traffic. It can produce a lot of calls, visits to the website, and a whole lot of other activity, relevance, trust, and authority, which is what Google is looking for. Forget every other acronym that Google is going to throw at you. Forget what other people are saying. If you want to really focus on what it is that you need to do, activity, relevance, trust, and authority, feed the bot lots of data, feed the bot lots of new data. All it has to be, or everything has to be about your entity and in relationship to your entity. And you're going to be rewarded.
That's it.
Great question.
Good
Might
question.
get a prize.
Maybe.